Everybody likes this music, right? Alright, so if you skipped here because you're a scrub and you don't want to learn how the game works because you're too cool for school, that's fine, I don't really care. That's why I told you the option right off the bat. Alright, let's go ahead and start the game.
Please, listen to me. The Archbishop Lazarus. He led us down here to find the lost prince. The bastard led us into a trap. Now everyone is dead, killed by a demon he called the Butcher. Avenge us! Find this Butcher and slay him, so that our souls may finally rest.
Your death will be avenged.
So, yeah. The Butcher is also a quest variation that can spawn here. I haven't mentioned it in the last episode, but it doesn't really matter. So, if you notice that the fountain in the center of the town is yellow, that means you have the poison water supply quest as well. And some are mutually exclusive. I haven't mentioned this yet, but each quest is actually a big deal. They drop certain things. It's not like in D2 where you can ignore them. You can ignore them, obviously, but yeah. Having the Butcher is iconic, so I figure it's fine, but it's going to be kind of tough. So let's go down into it.
The sanctity of this place has been fouled.
Aw, yeah. And now we're at normal walk speed. Look at my butt! I'm gonna poke my butt. Anyways. So yeah. This is Diablo as you know it. And yep, I have the mini-map open at all times too. So, before we get moving, I fucking love this game. If it isn't obvious, this is Diablo right here. This is all it is to me, is this image. Okay? Just, God, it's awesome. So, alright. Before we get moving, you want to know this. If you're playing as a sorcerer or a rogue, shift is what stops you from moving and lets you shoot with left click. Right click.
I don't have a spell ready.
I don't have a spell ready. Right click is always your spells. So, Rudy Tooty, point and shooty. If you're playing as a warrior, this is how fast you'd shoot. Probably a little bit slower, but I can just go. I really shouldn't do that because it actually does degrade the bow a bit. But anyways, if you've also played D2, see that? I can see that, right? That's gold. We know what that is. We like that. So, if an item drops on the ground, you better know where it's at or have search. I don't really use search, but you get the idea. Alright, let's get into it. Oh no, a spooky, scary Skeleman! I'm gonna run away and be scared. Oh no, look at him, he's so fast. So, not really, they die really quick. Oh my god, look at that, just like fucking, now it's all starting. Alright, so just like in D2, this doesn't mean it's unidentified, it's just red background because it's how the game does it. But if an item's white, we know this by now, that is a regular item. And I haven't even spoiled some of the cool shit. Oh my god, look at these zombie mans! Alright, so yeah, enemies actually do have highlights. There's a spell that you can't get as an actual spell. You can only get it on scrolls. It's called Infravision. That will let you see through dungeons and stuff, like the wall, like that, and you can see the enemies in the background. So yeah, Diablo 1, very different game to Diablo 2. And if you've played D2 and you're like, hey, wait a minute, this is a lot like the catacombs in Act 1. Well, that's because Act 1 was meant to be like, hey, we know what this is. And shit, yeah, dude, we got some fucking armor. Awesome. Yes! I think there's only 3 different armor variations per character model. I think it's once you hit, like, scale mail and plate mail, they're slightly different, so get used to looking at the Amazon. God damn it, Rogue. I love Diablo 1. So, we're very squishy. I haven't even mentioned this yet, but if you notice, you're like, huh, this actually looks pretty familiar. Seth may not be completely off of his rocker when he's talking about playing this game and knowing how it looks and feels. Also, barrels, we should know what these are. And it looks like our armor is already getting fucked up. This is not like in Diablo 2. Once this turns red, either get rid of it or get it repaired, because guess what? It's gonna break entirely, and you do not get to pick it back up. I lowered it like an idiot. Oh no, look, edgy imagery. It's an upside down cross. Oh no. This game better fucking watch it in the deep south, am I right, guys? Alright. So, and I know what's in this next room too. I'm just trying to be surprised. Oh no, this looks familiar. I've played Diablo 2. Wow, it's a little library. Alright, if I was playing as a, like, I'd be pretty excited if I was playing as a mage. So, library books have a 50-50 chance, I think, of rolling either a book or a scroll. Oh yeah, I forgot you can ID scrolls like this. So, cool, we got a cap. We're so fancy. So, book of scroll search. A lot of garbage. ID scrolls. I don't really use ID scrolls that often. And bookcases. Wow! Super duper! Book of search. Hope it never stops. Alright, so you can see that we don't have 25 mage, we can't use that. So, that's kinda trash. I don't really use search as a skill anyway, so it's not a big deal. You can sell them for good money, by the way, but if you're playing as a sorcerer, I don't mind doing this if you don't want to be as hardcore as someone like me. Understandable, some people just don't have balls as big as mine. I actually would recommend going through church all the way to level 1 through 4. And holy shit, we leveled up. Look at us, we're so strong. I'm gonna start with... Yeah, that'll work. I want to keep it level. I usually start off pretty leveled out and then eventually transition to other things, but yeah, if you're playing as a mage, you want to grind these first floor areas because they can actually contain the highest... Oh, I was excited there. It was like a bow! Like I said, bows are kind of rare, so you want to be on the lookout for those. This has a bias towards shrines, and it also has a bias towards libraries. So, not all libraries have bookshelves, I don't think, but they're very important because they're the only way you can learn spells outside of Adria. So, it's a good way to get some free early game spells if you want to reset the game. I forgot to mention this in the last video, but once you reset the game, like let's say you go from normal to nightmare, everything that's on the ground disappears, a new dungeon map, a new everything spawns. So you gotta take your items with you to the next difficulty. So if you're like, oh, take all my gold, make sure it's all in your inventory before you make a brand new game. You're gonna be really upset if you don't. Like I said, there's no son of a bitch. There's so many fucking enemies. Diablo, this is insane. Like, if you were playing NetHack and this fucking happened, you'd be dead. Like, in a handful of seconds this early in the game. You know, actually, I'm not going to keep this. It's not really worth my time. I'm not even going to demonstrate to show you how slow Rogue actually uses melee weapons. And if you're like, how the fuck do you know what's going on in the game? Well, I'm just so great. I guess, right? I've also played this game for over 10 years. And it's just like D2. A lot of it comes down to sound design, and you just start to recognize. If you've played D2, you're like, wow, a lot of these sounds are virtually the same, and they've been the same in other Diablo games. Go figure. I want a fancy cloak. Yeah, give me that. It's because a lot of these things are so similar, because they train your brain, right? You hear the gold sound and you immediately know, okay, there's gold somewhere in the room. You hear that sound, you go, okay, there's fallen somewhere in here. Also, barrels can explode like you just saw, like they can in D2. You're probably like, Seth, you're fucking clicking all over the place. Is it really necessary? Yes, it's really necessary. I know some people have probably seen D2 and been like, what the fuck? This is just a mess. How do people control this? Why are they clicking so fast? Because this is all grid-based. I need to make sure my character is moving at all times, or I'm going to take a shitload of damage. This game is a lot like... I'm trying to think of the best example. Okay, you know, like in how I always say in D2, the moment you die is the moment your character goes to shit, because you sort of lose all that momentum going into it. This game is like mistake after mistake after mistake, and it fucking compacts and kills you so quickly. Especially as a rogue or a sorcerer, because you are so frail. This game, I'm not even exaggerating. Look at how much damage that barrel did to me. It's fucking massive. So, oh, and by the way, there's zombies called, I think, Black Death, that when you get hit by them, they'll actually shave off your HP, like your stats. There's also shrines we'll talk about when I see one. So when you're like, oh, D1 isn't that hardcore. Oh yeah, it fucking is, dude. This game is the definition of... This is like what NetHack should have been, in my opinion. Oh yay, we leveled up and we got some enchanted goodies. We also can't, just like in D2, we can't get magical affixes working until you ID it, so let's go ahead and do that. Dicks, I don't think I did it right. There we go. Fine rags. 3 armor. Wow, it's really shitty. Oh, by the way, there's also cursed armor in this game. I'm going to put a point into strength for that. So if you've played NetHack and you're like, is there really... Yep, there's cursed armor. Negative hit chance. There's fucking... It's basically to piss you off, basically. Now, along with elixirs, I haven't mentioned this yet. So we have a little bit... Oh, I was hoping I get all 3. So there's blacksmith oil, oil of accuracy, oil of sharpness. As you can see, this just raises the AR, which I'm actually going to do because I kind of want to do that, especially this early. So if you want, you can store these on weapons you really like using, and if you're getting really lagging behind in the damage as the game gets going, you can use those to increase a weapon to give yourself more edge. I'm going to use them early game, probably up until the next floor. Oh, there's a shrine. Perfect. Ooh, and a club! Hot damn! A lady deer. See? Like bronze club. Chance to hit. Items generally only have 1 or 2 affixes on them. They don't have a lot of crazy shit like in Diablo 2. So... But yeah, you can totally get a cursed item. They exist. They're not as brutal as like NetHack where they'll fucking strangle you, but still. So... This is another important thing in Diablo 1. I love this, by the way, but I fucking hate it. So, this is an enchanted shrine. I'm not doing what G-Star did where he had a list. I'm just not bothering with shrines, but if you want to, they have different, like, they can raise your attributes, they can lower your attributes permanently, and they can do stuff like give you more XP or gold or shit like that. I'm not bothering with them. They're just too much of a pain in the ass for me to remember every single one. But it's really nice, because like I said, it's like a NetHack, you know? You go into a dungeon, you see... Oh, look, there's a fountain. Should I dip my sword in it to get an Excalibur at plus level character 5? Sure. Oh shit, a water demon spawned and I fucking died. I like that kind of, you know... It's seriously like that kind of stuff that I really enjoy about Diablo 1, that as much as I love D2, you don't get that kind of thing. Median XL uses the shrines as a type of item crafting thing. So if you've played Median, you're like, oh look, I've seen those before. Spooky, gloomy, oh wow, I know all those things. There you go. So, this is a treasure room, it looks like. If you're probably like, how the fuck do you know where all this stuff is and what it is by the time you look at it? It's just like D2. Everything's modular, so I know exactly what things are going to be based on where I'm at in the dungeon. It's not like in D2 where... Okay, it is actually. So, a good example is I do know how to map this game fairly well. Not as good as I do D2, but I do consistently know how to map. Staircases to next floor are usually within about a room or 2 away from where they spawn on the floor. It is always, by the way, and I mean this always, okay? Always a good idea to search every single fucking thing in this game, because the way that items are generated and the way that quests generate and the way that everything is generated one time only, you really cannot see, like I told you, 1 or 2 rooms away. You really, 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 really want to make damn sure that you know what you're doing. So, I forgot to mention, oil of blacksmith is gonna actually give you, I think, 25% repair. So it's good for holding out if you don't want to go back to town. If you're like me and you're fucking lazy, like how I'm just not walking forward. I'm like, I can kill this zombie for fuck's sake. I know that. I don't. It's seriously like a classic shell thing. Every like couple of hours it resets itself and goes, all right, here we go, and it fucks up everything. I hate it. You guys have probably seen it when I was playing D2. It happens every now and then. It's fucking annoying. There's still like one more room. But yeah, do not fuck around and be like, oh, I don't feel like going over there. That's a mistake. Explore the whole floor like a man. Like in a man-a-man. Okay? You want to be in a man-a-man, don't you? The hardest part of D2 is learning how to map, obviously. But in D1, there really is, like, it's simplistic, right? Like, rooms are generated on top of other rooms, they branch out to corners, and then the dungeon stops. Usually in D2, it's a little bit more complex. You have, like, certain dungeon modules will always connect to certain ones, and you get the idea. But in this game, it's a little bit more simplistic. But it looks like we've already reached the end, which is nice. Now, at this point, I'm just going to go up really quickly. I'm not going to buy anything. I'm just going to do myself a big, big, big favor. So, where do I want to go? I want to go to Adria. Why do I want to go to Adria? Because I have 400 gold. And you know what I want to do with that gold? I want to spend it. Actually, yeah, fuck it. We'll sell things. I can't be lazy yet. I'll include town trips because it's important. But we'll do like 2 floors and then we'll go down and I'll use my brain cells. How about that? So I don't need scrolls of ID. I don't want these. I don't need that. I don't really ever use scrolls. Also, check to make sure you're not in the buy menu, because I've done that before. Mana, ID, search. I don't really use potions of healing, because they're not really that useful. Also, if you have a scroll, I think it uses your skill level if you have a skill level. Maybe. I could be wrong on that. Complains about people not knowing anything about the game, doesn't know anything about the game. So I'm going to buy a scroll of Town Portal for now. Just one. I'm not going to... Actually, does she have anything?
I sense a soul in search of answers.
I don't want scrolls. I don't need Social Security. Oh, I don't even have enough to buy that. I would totally buy Lightning right off the bat. I probably couldn't make much use out of it, but I would certainly buy it. I'm going to save that oil, because I think it's probably a better idea. See, I love this. This is why I love Diablo 1.
Whoa, what can I do for you?
So I don't need these. 9 gold. That's how fucking garbage that was. So cool. Alright, so we'll put our scroll over here. And we'll put mana in the corner for now, because we have to really, really know what we're doing. No, put that on the ground, Seth. You idiot! You fucking idiot!
What ails you, my friend?
I want to buy some full heal. Good enough. Okay. So that should hold us off for quite a while. I can see somebody screaming, Seth, you fucking idiot, you bought so much potion, you're not going to use it. Want to bet money on that? Alright. So, also, some people don't like to buy full this early, but I would rather buy full healing pots early. I wouldn't recommend buying full mana pots until a little bit later. Usually around Catacombs is where you want to start buying full mana. So if you buy a regular, like, healing potion or mana pot, it only restores half of your current level. So whatever half of 50 is, 22, right? I'm really bad at making a joke like that. I'm sorry. But, so what's half of 26? 15? Something like that? I can't believe I missed that. Oh, by the way, look. See how it says I've killed them 22 times? And they're immune to magic. So, if you're playing as a sorcerer, you have to use lightning or fire to kill those. If it says magic, it doesn't mean you can't kill it with elemental magic. It just means you can't use magic. Like, there's only a handful of spells. I think it's Bloodstar, Holy Bolt. There's like one other spell. Apocalypse, by the way, is only in Hellfire. It's the highest tier spell in the game. It actually is what Diablo uses. I haven't mentioned this yet. He uses it on you. It's a physical type of magic. It's very different. It doesn't count as magic. It's actually a physical AoE attack. So that's why I said earlier as a joke, you should probably get it because it's important. So let's go down to D level. Jesus, I'm missing everything. How did I fucking miss this? Anyways, we'll go down to D level 2. This is where the butcher's going to be at. So, oh boy. I really don't want to do butcher, if I'm honest. I'll have to plan for him. Oh no, it's Burning Deads. I've seen these guys. I don't think they're as fun as you think they are. I'm pretty sure they're immune to fire, and you need a lightning spell or just vanilla magic spell to kill them if you're playing as a sorcerer. I don't know every single enemy's resistance in this game. Yeah, Butcher's right over here. Oh no, that's not Butcher at all. That's a Skeleman library. For some reason they just have like, yeah, they'll be called skeleton tomes. Oh shit. See, when I was like, oh, it's probably safe. No. Play this game like you're playing Diablo 2 in hell mode, because everything will kill you super quick. Charge bolts, not really worth it. Scroll of healing is okay, I guess. Yeah, charge bolt I don't really use. Chain lightning is the best. It's probably the best spell in this fucking game. I'll try to spec into it if I can, but if I can't, it's not a big deal. We'll put more dex. Yeah, dex knows. And then the next level we'll just put into Vit. So I usually go like one level, like all of them into this, one into this, then Vit. We'll do magic, I guess, next, and then Vit. I'll talk about why magic is really, really fucking busted in this game in a little bit. But if you couldn't deduce, magic is very fucking strong. It's based on like D&D magic, where it's like, it's a resource that you use when you need to use it, and it's finite. So it's not like in D2 where magic is just your character's like skills, right? I think in D3 it was the same thing, right? Other than I think, oh, I'm trying to remember D3, Jesus. Paladin had like a split pool. They had like, what, Fury and Hatred or something? I don't know. I fucking hated Diablo 3. The less I remember it, the better. But it's like, in here, magic is a utility. You don't really use it willy-nilly. You can't even use it willy-nilly. That's the other thing, too, is like, even when you're a mage, you have to know when to use certain spells. You can't just go chain lightning, chain lightning, chain lightning, chain lightning. It doesn't work that way. You have to know when to use certain spells on certain enemies. I actually recommend playing... I'd recommend playing through as warrior first, and then trying sorcerer out or rogue, because they require knowing the game mechanics a lot more. There's probably one more fucking dude in here, I already know it. Nope, but I will take a book. Oh, cool, Book of Healing, there you go. So we need 17 mage to use that. Get that shit out of my inventory. Book of Search, not gonna use that at all. So we'll sell that later. That's cool, I guess. So normally I don't carry gold into the dungeon, but since it's so early, I don't really care as much that I have gold in my inventory. I usually... You see, I like Diablo 1 because I can actually use the fucking inventory in this game. Unlike in D2 where your entire inventory is just these 4 squares, right? Inventory management's actually very important in D1 because, like I said, with finite supplies and everything like that, it's actually very important to keep your inventory clutter-free. I probably don't need to have a mana pot on yet, because I don't even have any spells. Well, I could, but I don't really want to use it. Disarm Trap is so useless. I can't justify using it. It never becomes a problem. I think these guys are lightning immune, if I remember correctly. I don't know. Oh, shit. So, I don't want to really get hit, but if you couldn't tell, the rogue's main way of not getting killed is stand from a distance and shoot shit. This...
Now, where would I put this?
Oh, I can think of a couple places. Anyways, oh, Seth's a horrible man. Horrible, horrible man. Yeah, you want to make sure you're doing what I'm doing right here. Now, you're probably like, oh, this looks really easy. Is this what you do the whole game? Yes and no. Okay, you do this in fucking NetHack. You do this in Diablo 2. Door strats are very useful, okay? What you want to do early game is learn how to, you know, shoot from a distance, lure enemies around, and start getting used to how you have to, like, shoot then move, stuff like that. If you guys... Oh my god, already?
I can't carry anymore.
How much is Quilted? I think Quilted's better. Yep, 7 armor on that. I'll wait till the bow's in red, and then I'll go back. Fuck me. So, if I let any of these enemies hit me, they'll actually knock me into stun recovery. Now, I forgot to mention this, I probably did. Magic determines your hit recovery. Your cast rate. So higher magic's actually really good because it increases hit rate. Jesus, cast rate. However, hit recovery is actually an affix on items, so you don't really get anything that increases that. I guess you could say dexterity, which I'll put points into mage now, and we'll get a healing spell in a minute. Get the fuck out of here. There we go. I don't really want Holy Bolt. It's pretty useless for me. I'm gonna sell that. Because you also can't oh shit, now I really need to go back to town. You also have to aim the fucking spells in this game, by the way. So if you're like, oh, is it really a pain in the ass? It sure is. It sure is.
What can I do for you?
I want my shit. There we go. Usually you can just hit enter a bunch of times and you'll be fine. Alright, now we're gonna get lazy. Here's where Seth gets ultra lazy, and everyone gets to see why I'm a bad man. A real bad man. So see how I actually have to click kind of differently to drop the items? It's because they're all in a grid, and you can actually see that more. There, now you're starting to see it? Alright. Glad we had that discussion. So, yeah, if you wanted a good... Oh shit, there's a good example. Fuck me, get out of this room. Alright, so... This is really fucking dangerous. So there are super uniques in this game. If you couldn't tell, they have their own resistances, and they have their own... They have minions, but their minions aren't like they are in D2. Get the fuck out of this room. I want them stuck on that wall. Yeah, Puke Rat the Unclean, I bet. Alright. Good. So they also have a higher chance of dropping enchanted items as well, just like in D2. So, kill everything you see. It's an enchanted axe, so... If you're playing as a warrior, that's pretty cool, but they're not guaranteed. That's the other thing, too. So you could do level 2 and never see that guy. You could see him on level 1. You never know. Each game you play is different. I'm amazed we haven't seen the Butcher yet. That's fucking shocking to me. So, quest areas also have a very unique identity. So, when you see those modules, you'll know what they are immediately after you play the game long enough. So, that's a dungeon dead end. Most dungeons are all the same size. The biggest dungeons are actually level 1 through 4, because once you get to, like, Hell difficulty in Mines, or sorry, Hell and Mines, they actually have, like... Oh, by the way, if it says oh, there's the Butcher over there. Fuck that room for now. I gotta find a way to kill him. Yep, I already found one. Good. If I can somehow not die. But yeah, once you get oh shit, I just completely derailed. I'm so sorry. Oh yeah, map size. So Hell and Mines actually have really weird geometry. So like they're about the same size as these floors, except they Sure, why not? I thought I meant to hit 3. Fucking bank shot. Anyways, they have obstacles in them. So, in my opinion, the largest dungeons with the most areas are gonna be the first 4. After this, yeah, it starts to get a little bit tricky. So we'll talk about it when we get there. But for the most part, each subsection of the dungeon is actually distinct with its obstacles and what enemies spawn in it. As you can see, oh Jesus, there's another one. Oh, where is he? I know there's one. That's usually the symbol that they're gonna spawn. This is a bad idea, don't do this. Alright, so you can see what I'm talking about. It's just like in D2. If you get enemies back you into a corner and you get fucked up on them, it's really shitty. Enemies are actually very smart in D1, and they will flank you, absolutely. The goat men are actually programmed to do that too. They have a higher likelihood of trying to flank you in groups. It's fucking cool. I absolutely love it. Now also, if you're probably like, okay, so if all the enemies, all they do is they bull rush towards you, what makes them actually difficult? I'm so glad you asked. So, certain enemies have different attack speeds, certain enemies have spells later on, some enemies have, you know, negative effects. Like I said, Black Death can actually lower your stats. And of course, getting hit stunned is really fucking annoying. Yay! Healing! That's where I'm a Viking. So, yeah. Actually, let's put that on right now. Fuck it. I'm not gonna hotkey that because I don't have any other spells, so I guess it's not really worth it. But, yeah, once you start getting, like, different enemies, you start to realize really quickly how fucking annoying some of them actually are. Thank you, sir. Thank you for finally dropping dead. And I'll put this one into Vit, and then the next one we're going to start 2 strength, and then do this whole process over. So, in my opinion, the hardest enemies are actually casters, because this game doesn't really have that many caster enemies until you get to the hell area. And that's when you start to go, well, fuck this game. And that's where most people also say that too. So, I'm surprised there wasn't a super unique in here. Wow, I thought there was. Fucking lame. Anyways, you also want to break these. Ooh, a hunter's bow. What do you know? 1 to 6, 2 to 5. Fuck that shit, it's mine now. So, I was just gonna say, you want to shoot every single obstacle in this game. It's not like in D2 where it's actually inconvenient. It's actually pretty smart in this game to do it. So we're gonna go up to this top branch here. There's also a shrine that will reveal the whole map. I don't recommend doing that because if you're like me, it's really easy to forget where you've been. So what's that? Oh, it's just a cape. Fuck it. I don't want to pick that up, but I did. Fucking hell. There's no pickup command in this game. Alright, see how this situation, this is what you want to do. Get in the doorway and just start shooting the fuck out of everything. And this strategy gets thrown out the window in the next subsec too, because we'll talk about it when we get there. This game never lets you get comfortable. That's something I kind of like about it, is because you can have one floor that's really easy and you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad. And then you get one that's just fucking ass, and you're like, wow, shit. And it creates a really cool game feeling that's just hard to mimic, I guess. Like, that's one of the few advantages, I think, of having completely random design. Of course, you could get, like, really bad combinations of things, and it's really annoying, but still. Charge Bolt I'm not really going to get. I don't really use that. I don't... Cape is 5, I don't need that. I am not kidding, AC is so fucking useful in this game, it's unbelievable. Especially since we don't get a shield, and we also are playing as one of the squishiest characters in the game. I would honestly argue that Sorcerer is not as bad. Rogue is way more squishy, because Sorcerer has a very unique advantage. Big mana pool equals big mana, like, safety. We'll talk about it later, though. So for now... Oh, this is not fun. There's still one room it looks like I haven't been to. Oh, no, I have. Okay, I see what's going on. I could open that door and fight the butcher now, but it's a really fucking bad idea. So... Because this is what everyone does. They make this dumb mistake of going down here and fighting him immediately, and they get fucking killed. So what I'm doing right now, you probably haven't even noticed it. I actually thought it was way luckier, but I don't have anything to cheese him on. If you're playing as a warrior, you can stand in front of him and just tank hits, but as a rogue, you can't really do that. So we'll come back to him later. I don't really think that's a good idea, personally. Shit. I also don't want to... No, it's a bad idea. It's just a horrible idea. I will get killed in like 1 second. I have no way to safely take care of him. I'm not even sure I have enough health pots to tank him. We'll kill him. Fuck it. You know me. Do you know who I am? Alright, how much gold do I have on me? 800 GP? That's more than enough. Alright, we can fucking cheese butcher. Why not?
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Then I'll use this accuracy just in case. And we'll sell this axe.
Well, what can I do for you?
And I don't... I'm gonna get lazy. Okay, don't be like, oh, Seth, you scrub. Well, you can say that. I'm not gonna stop you. I prefer you didn't. But, don't Seth, you scrub. What are you doing at me? Okay, don't you fiddle-diddle at me, alright? We're gonna kill Butcher.
What ails you, my friend?
This should be enough? I hope? Well, we'll find out, won't we? Let's do it. Save game. Diablo 1 strat. Here we go. I'm opening the door.
Fresh meat.
Fucking sweating it right now. Damn right. Seth is so good.
Are now avenged.
I'm actually sweating a bit. Holy fuck, I didn't think that was gonna work. Alright, so... You probably thought, oh, Seth's a fucking idiot. He doesn't know how to play Diablo 1. He spent all his gold on potions. Like a fucking dum-dum. Well, smart guy. When you were 7 years old, you didn't think of doing that. Don't fucking lie to me. So... Yeah, we killed Butcher. He drops Cleaver. It's actually a pretty solid melee weapon early game. I wouldn't put it past it. It's just a lot of beefy defense. I think it has a slightly slower attack speed, but it ain't bad. So, oh boy. That is always stressful. It doesn't matter how many times I've done it. Early game, it's always nerve-wracking. So, yeah, we're going to call it here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.
Nice shot there, Brickout.